Hey there, how you doing? It's Matthew Hunt from Automation Wolf, and today I want to show you how you can automate the process of getting 30 to 40 high quality B2B leads every single month without having to spend crazy money on PPC ads or doing any search engine optimization or having to create any kind of complicated marketing funnels. And if you've been struggling with scaling your sales for your B2B business, then this will probably be one of the most important videos you ever see. And if you've been struggling with your business because you don't have consistent leads and sales in your B2B business, I'm here to tell you it's not your fault. I mean, you've been lied to. You've literally been lied to. And it's confusing as hell. I mean, if we take a look at MarkTech here and all the different tools and things that people are saying, Look, back in 2011, there was 150 different tools. If we fast forward to 2018, there's over 7,000 of these tools. So how is anybody supposed to make any heads or tails of this all? So it's really not your fault at the end of the day. It's just so much noise out there, and it's confusing as heck to know what the right things are to do. Well, let's just take a look at the evolution of sales prospecting in general, okay? So we started off with door-to-door sales. Everybody know what that was. People still do it today. It still works, but nobody wants to do it. Then we said, hey, door-to-door works, so why don't we just do it on the telephone? It's the same thing. People still do it today. It still works, but everyone hates doing telemarketing sales. Then someone said, hey, forget, let's not even talk to people. Let's just fax, broadcast people. And anybody who knows what a fax machine is as old as I am, and I'm probably dating myself a little bit right now. But again, you just piss off a lot of people, and let's face it, who has a fax machine anymore today? And then people moved to email spam, which was fun while it lasted, but the party ended because you can't email people like that anymore. You can't just get a bunch of emails and put them in a newsletter and email them whenever you want some offer. You actually have to have explicit permission to be able to email people. People have to opt in, right? But then we moved to these SDR. This is a sales development rep. And ever since, Aaron Ross wrote his book, Predictable Revenue, every B2B company has scaled their business this way. And it still works today. It's just really expensive, right? He scaled Salesforce into billions, and people are still using this today. I've used it. It works great. But you don't need people to do this anymore. You can use software and AI-assisted technology to do what people used to do as an SDR. And that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. Now, another thing that, I didn't get this for the longest time too, but there's a long way of doing things and a short way of doing things. And with all the inbound marketing that's out there and all the noise that's out there, and I sold inbound marketing services, I know it's a long way to do things. You got to take someone from being cold to just even warm them up. And you've got run PPC ads, and then you got to run retargeting ads, and then you got to do some search engine optimization, and then you got to create lead magnets, and then you got to get them into your email autoresponder. And that's just to warm them up and get them into as being a lead, right? Or, you know what, there's a much easier way of doing things, and that's just create a list, automate the prospecting to that list, and then, find those that are interested and close them. And when I figured this out, my life got a lot easier. And sometimes, we get confused. Sometimes we sell inbound, but really we should be practicing outbound. And this is what we're going to be talking about today, okay? You got to ask yourself, where are you in your sales pyramid? Are you struggling with your business? Do you have just zero leads? Or are you surviving where you have unpredictable leads? You get some referrals and you kind of go through this feast and famine experience. That's very common for a lot of businesses who have unpredictable leads. You make a bunch of sales, you get busy fulfilling them, and then you don't have any because you don't have a system in place that's creating predictable leads in your business. Or is it thriving where you have consistent leads constantly coming in? Or is it driving where you have on-demand leads? Well, most of the time we're working with people who are struggling or surviving. Sometimes people who are thriving and they just want to really, fine tune the business even more. But it all comes down to lead flow in your business. Let's face it, this is the lead domino in your business to more sales. If you don't have leads, then you can't make more sales. And when you have lots of leads, lots of good things happen. You're not scared to say no. You can then cherry pick the very best clients. All of those things are important. And so what we're going to talk about today is how do you automate this process, right? How do you automate this process so that you have consistent and on-demand leads. We're going to show you how to do that today. This is why I created this system called the Ultimate B2B Sales Machine. And it took me a while to do this. It took me 4 years to fine tune this, but I'm going to shortcut this to you so you can learn it real quick. Even going through this process, you're going to see from a 10,000 foot view of how it works. It's a 3-pillar system that stands for foundation, automation, and transformation. And in each pillar, there's 4 major modules that you need to do. Now remember, a lot of these modules you won't need to redo again. It's a one-time thing. So the first module is where we help people out figure out what their market recognition is. And I got to tell you, a lot of times we run into people that really aren't clear. They are trying to serve everyone, right? And when you try to be everywhere, you're nowhere. And you got to remember, the riches are in the niches. So we're going to help you find your very specific audience. Then we're going to help you figure out your brand story. So many people have great brand stories and nobody talks about it. And you got to remember, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so we're going to move you from being beige and boring to having a compelling story so that people want to actually pay attention. And then we're going to show you how to have a signature process. This is the signature process that you're seeing right now. Most people have no signature process, which means they have no positioning, which means they're in the red ocean. If you ever read the book Blue Ocean, we want to get you into the blue ocean. We want to create a unique process so that you're different from everybody else. You're not fighting with everybody else. So if we can get you and turn you into sort of like the big fish in a small pond by having a unique process, that's a good thing. It makes things a lot easier for you. So this is part of the foundation stuff. When we set up this right, then we're going to be able to set up mind control messaging. And right now, you're probably talking all about you, but what we're going to do is start talking about the outcomes for your customers. And we're going to be able to start talking about how you can describe their problems better than they can describe themselves. And you can only do that when you have market recognition, brand story, and a signature process. And when you do that, and you're able to describe their problems better than they can describe themselves, they're going to see you as an expert. And when you're an expert, you have influence. You are their most trusted advisor, which is going to give you mind control, right? This is the foundation. Now, you got to get all this foundation stuff sorted out, because if you don't do this before you set up automation, guess what? The automation doesn't work, right? It's garbage in, garbage out. But once you have that set up, we're going to set up some cold emailing, but we're going to automate the process. But what this is going to do is going to move you from having inconsistent leads to automated leads every single month, every single week, every single day. Imagine that. You don't have to do this. They just keep coming in. And then we're not only going to just do it with email, we need to do it on the most popular B2B social network, which is LinkedIn. And most of you are not on there today. And I'm not going to make it where you have to be on there for hours and hours and hours and hours of doing social selling. We're going to set it up where we can grow your small network to a large network by you just spending maybe 15 minutes a day. Most of the conversations that are going to be generated are automated. And then you just have to come in for those that are interested and answer those people who are interested. All the other work is done automated by the machine, by the AI assisted technology. You don't need to do it. We don't need humans to do these low-level sales activities anymore. And even if this is all you did from our system, this would create probably more leads than you've ever had in your business ever, right? This would be enough to do that. But I don't want it to just be a B, like a B plus for your system. I want to turn it into an A plus. And to do that, you have to learn that you got to start with outbound before you start implementing inbound. And I made this mistake for a long time in my business. I used to get all these irrelevant leads and traffic coming to me because I was running paid ads and attracting the wrong people. But when you start with outbound, you choose them. You choose your ideal client list and you reach out to them. So then you're pixeling only the right people. And therefore now you're becoming, instead of being invisible, you're going to become omnipresent to those that you only care about. And you're going to get the perfect leads every single time. It ends up dropping your costs and ends up getting you more leads. But not only that, we want to show you how to create high touch with these people. When you have high ticket sales, it's really, really important that you delight people. And so we're going to show you how you can automate the process of being ignored to being noticed, where you really seem like something different and special. And we're going to do that by showing you how to send direct mail to these people in your pipeline and how to automate that process, that you don't even need to do it. It just happens automatically and you're going to delight them. They're going to be like, wow, you really have this dialed in. Now, even though we're going to set this all up and have those leads, we know that there's still some issues around mindset and sales. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to stop being scared. Now that you're going to have so many leads coming in, you're going to have the ability to say no to people. It's going to feel so good. It's really important sometimes that you repel as much as you attract, right? And you want to repel all the wrong people, attract the right people. You don't want to have to say yes to people that shouldn't be your clients. It creates a litany of other problems in your organization. And so we're going to show you how to do that, and you're going to feel super confident. And then we're going to show you how to do that by having a 2-call closure process. So we're going to show you you can take anyone in 2 calls plus a little bit of automation and close them. And so we're going to show you how to do something we call the audition call, okay? And this is going to move you from feeling like you're not in control to being in control. And when you set this up right, you're almost always going to get a decision in your second call. And then we're going to show you how to automate the process in a 10-minute amplifier. This is an example of a 10-minute amplifier. You don't need to do your demo every single time. Let's automate that process in your sales process where you can send people a short video, okay, that explains why you're special in your unique process. And the third part, we're going to show you how to do the closure call so you can get a decision. Remember, it's key that you get a decision. Even a no is good. What we don't want to end up in is this endless follow-up cycle where you have inconsistent sales and you have all these people just rotting in your pipeline. Instead, we want to get to a decision so you can only focus on those that you can help, and you can focus on more of those that want your help. And this is going to create predictable sales. And when you have predictable sales in your business, it feels so good, right? It feels so good because sales fixes all at the end of the day. Now, you're probably asking, who the heck is Matthew Hyde? Well, let me tell you, I've scaled 3 businesses myself. Okay, the first one was a merchant account business, lead gen business that I scaled to 6 figures a year. It was using SEO, okay, and pay-per-click ads, but I was beating all the banks. I was really, really good at it. Then I scaled a small business agency that did inbound marketing like local SEO and SEO to 7 figures a year. It was a nice little business, right? And then I did another one with some business partners where we scaled another digital marketing agency, but focused on enterprise clients. So like, we had clients like FedEx and Remax and all these large, Fortune 500 brands. And it's a completely different process. And this is where I cut my teeth on doing this outbound. And this is where I learned hey, if you take outbound plus inbound, it works so well. And not only that, I learned how to automate the whole process. I didn't have to deal with like people at the end of the day. And we scaled that one to 8 figures a year. That's a pretty good business. I'm not saying it's the biggest business in the world, but I'd say that's bigger than most people have built a business before. Now, I sold those businesses. I've sold all of them. I'm not in any of those businesses anymore. And this January of 2019, I decided to do this as a business, this thing that I just showed you, but I wanted to make sure it worked. So I decided to beta test. I used my system to get clients. And guess what? I used the system. It worked for me too. And I got 30 clients right away. And not only that, I went and got different kinds of clients that sold B2B SaaS products. I got other agencies to make sure it wasn't just my agency. I went and got other consultants, business coaches. This even works for other things that are out of the box, like building links and getting press and PR, and even creating all kinds of mastermind groups or getting people out to your events. There's some really cool stuff that you can do to use this process. And so guess what? I tested it. I battle tested it. It works, right? Now let's talk about real money because I know that's what you're really interested in. Let's talk some simple numbers. So I'm going to show you real easy how you can send 400 emails every single month through automation, okay? And you're going to find if you do this right and you have a really clean list, I'm going to show you to clean it, you're going to get about a 60% open rate and about a 10% reply rate, which will lead to about 24 leads. Now, we're not going to leave it there. We're also going to show you how to automate that process on LinkedIn, where we're going to make connection requests to about 1,000 people a month. That's 50 people a day over 20 business days. You're going to find about 30% of them are going to accept your connection request, which means you're going to grow your network by 300 people. And we're going to show you how to automate the process of starting conversations there, which means it's going to lead to about 7% of them having conversations with you and leads, which is another 21 leads. Now, if we add the two together, that's 45 leads per month, right? And even if you're terrible at sales, you'll probably close 10% of them. That'd be about 4.5 sales per month for you. Now, most of you are high ticket sales. This would mean there'd be about 540 leads per year, which means if you close 10% of them, 54 new sales. If your average lifetime value of a customer is $2,000, that'd be $100,000 worth of extra revenue. Now, if your average lifetime value of a customer is $5,000, that'd be $270,000. If it's $10,000, $540,000. That's $500,000. And if it's $20,000, it'd be over $1 million. And a lot of you, that's where you are. I know with my agency, when I had this small business agency, my average client was worth $40,000 to $60,000 a year to me. And I usually had them for 2 or 3 years. And for the enterprise, it was $180,000 a year. And we would definitely have them for 3 years because everybody wanted a 3-year agency of record agreement. So, there's a lot of money here, depending on your business and where you're at. If you're just a coach and you have you're charging a few $1,000s, then the number's going to matter. You work out your numbers yourself, but this gives you an idea of that. Now, of course, this is why sales fixes all. Just imagine what would happen in your business if you had a consistent, predictable way of driving revenue in your business. How good would that feel? It's going to feel great, right? Now, you got to think about this. You're at a bit of a crossroads, right? You can keep doing things kind of like the old way or the hard way, and you can keep doing inbound marketing all the time. Create these downloadable white papers, set up the email autoresponders, build these landing pages and the upsell page and the thank you page, the 4 pages. You got to write the sales copy. You got to create the advertising banners, the PPC ads on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, set up retargeting, PPC ad costs. And don't forget, inflation's going up with those costs every month. Connect the pixels, analytics, CRMs, measure the results, and have meetings to do it all. Oh, man. Or you could just do it the easy way, right? You could build a list of ideal prospects. You can automate the email prospecting, automate the LinkedIn prospecting, get leads, give a high-touch experience to those leads, and close those deals, right? This is the system I'm basically showing you. It's much easier at the end of the day. In this old way, I know I sold it. It can cost you, your investment can be $60,000 to $250,000 a year, where this system here, I'm going to show you how you can get started with this system for as little as $2,000 if you want to. Or we can look at it the other way. Maybe you want a human to do this, or maybe you currently have sales development reps doing this, right? And some teams have SDRs and BDRs. Well, I had that too. I had people doing this. I had 4 people doing this. I ended up replacing them all with the automation, right? Because I had to write job descriptions. I had to go through the hiring process. I had to train them. I had to, manage them. I had to worry about their vacations and their downtime from being sick. I had to give them benefits. I had to give them raises and employee reviews. And then they would quit because they're usually junior. They want to make more money and go somewhere else, or they learn more, right? They do it all over again. And then I have to hire managers to manage them, right? Instead, I can just set this up once with software. I don't need a human. I can, get leads consistently without humans. I have no management expenses. I have no vacations or sick days. No one's asking for raises. There's no benefits. There's little time involved. No drama, right? There's always drama with people. No one ever quits. And I don't have to start over again. In this old way, easily it will cost you $45,000 to $65,000 a year. In this new way here, you can invest as low as $2,000, okay? And of course, you can do it the hard way. You could figure this out all on your own. I figured it out. You could figure it out. But it's going to look like this if you do it. Like I said, it took me 4 years to figure this out, right? To fine tune it. Well, let me shortcut you. I literally, if you stay focused on this, you can get this set up as quick as 30 days. Most of you will take 2 or 3 months to do it. Again, you can work at your own pace on how to set it up. But let me shortcut that process for you. Now, here's the investment, okay? There's 3 different packages. There's the do-it-yourself package, there's the done-with-you package, and then there's the done-for-you package. And here's the difference between them all, okay? The do-it-yourself is literally it. You're gonna get a course, and you can look over my shoulder, and you can work at your own pace and get all of this set up. Now, the done with you, we're going to hold you accountable. We're going to make sure that you get this done in 90 days, and we're going to coach you through it. You're going to be able to get on to coaching calls, ask us questions. This is probably one of the people's favorite is the done with you, right? And so what I always say to people is if you want less false starts and you want to be able to get help, do the done with you. If you really don't have a lot of money, but you have lots of time, do it yourself. And then those that have no time, but lots of money, and they really just want to fine tune this process, get the done for you services. And so this will be us. It's literally what we do. We parachute in and we get it done for you. We might need a little bit of your help in the front end, just so we can pick your brain to really understand your value proposition and your business. And then we need you just to make some approvals, but literally it's a few minutes and it's yes or no or maybe, but we do all the heavy lifting. It's $7,500 plus $2,500 recurring. Now, I want you to all know that with this whole system, I'm going to show you how to do it. There are third-party tools you need. You're going to need an email tool. You're going to need a LinkedIn automation tool. You're going to need an email scraper tool. You're going to need tools like Zapier that connect it all and automate it. But we show you how to do it even if you're not tech savvy, even if you're not technically savvy. We're going to just walk you through step by step with screen share videos on how to set this all up. And of course, it's done for you. You don't need to worry about it because we just do it all for you. Now, you don't need to choose right now what program is best for you. I want to help you figure it out. And I know you're going to have questions, right? So what I'd love you to do is schedule a call with me, okay? And let's go through that together. I'm going to learn more about your business. I want to 100% make sure that this is right for your business. And if it's not, I'm going to get you pointed in the right direction. It's not always right for everybody, but if it's right for you, I'm going to figure that out. We're going to figure out which program is the best program for you. Is it the do it yourself? Is it the done with you? Is it the done for you, right? At the end of the day, as long as you have at least $2,000 to get started, you can get this set up. Note that you do need some recurring money. It's very low cost compared to doing a lot of things, right? About $700 per rep to be able to really get this all fired up. That would be about what you'd need. It could be a little more, a little less, depending on like what you decide to invest in. But, you know, let's say for $1,000 or less per month, you can set up a system that creates nonstop predictable leads in your business. Like, how amazing would that be? So if this sounds like something that might be a good fit for you, find on this page the place to book a time with me. Let's jump on the phone and we'll walk through it together, and I'll be able to answer all your questions so that you can make a really educated decision on whether this is a good investment for you or not. Hope you're having a great day. Look forward to being in touch. Bye for now.